An MRAP lost control on a sharp curve and struck a guardrail, causing the vehicle to roll over. All 4 soldiers inside were transported by ambulance to a local medical facility. All 4 survived. This is their story.
The purpose of the mission was just to sanitize that training area. We went out there in a 3-vehicle convoy.
Since we're combat engineers, we pick up C-wire, mines, and stuff like that. Pickets, barbed wire, pick it up, and get it transported back to base.
My concerns were pretty minimal. It was mostly an administrative mission. All that really needed to happen is we needed to clean up the equipment.
To the majority of us, it was just another rollout.
There was 3 vehicles, and my vehicle was the lead Vic. So it was me, Sergeant Manful, and then we had 2 other people in the back. We had PFC Coley and PFC Lopez. Coming back to Garrison, to the motor pool, to stage all the Vics back up, and then head back here to the troop.
Coming down, it was a little slight decline down into a curve onto a bridge. And he was coming down, and the vehicle just is top heavy, so when it going downhill, it would speed up by itself.
I told my driver to keep 15 to 20 meters at the minimum. At that point, I think we split up to about 50 meters distance between us. But that's just, we were downhill, we hit the brakes a little bit more than they did and spread out a little bit.
Started speeding up, and he was applying the brakes. But before we got there, we got stuck in mud, so the tires were all muddy. So him applying the brakes, coming down into the curve or the turn, he decided to go a little bit wider into the oncoming lane, which there was no traffic at the time, thank God.
The speedometer said 40, so that's when I started riding the brakes. And then at the end of the hill, there's a sharp right turn. And I saw that there was no oncoming traffic, so I was gonna do a wide turn. So as I was doing that, I got too close to the left-hand guardrail, and I corrected myself to the right, and then I saw in the mirror that my back end was still in the oncoming lane, so I turned to the left, but I overcorrected, and I stomped on the brakes, and that caused to roll over.
It was just a casual ride back. And then I remember looking over to the person next to me, and he was showing me something on the phone, was just laughing and saying just nothing to the mind. Looked up, and I see the vehicle go one way, go the other way, and then try to turn back one way, and then it just started rolling over. It flipped.
And it happened so fast, it was, all we could do was just, we're going, pretty much.
That's what I thought, like, oh shit. I'm about to roll over. Sergeant Manful said roll over, and then they like all braced for the rollover.
Just as soon as the vehicle started to go right, I was like roll over and kind of just tucked to just brace for it because it was gonna hurt.
Like once it started to flip, just going straight to the side, and my eyes open and just seeing everything just move around. I closed my eyes again. And the next time I opened up, we was landed. We was upside down. Once it landed upside down, I looked outside, like just look out the window, try to see where we at and what's the surroundings. And I just seen like a bunch of fuel just leaking out right to the side. And I was like, yo, we gotta get up out of here. I don't know if it's about to blow up or not.
We didn't see it roll. We came around the corner and it was at a full stop, upside down, laying on the handrail.
And we coming down the road, and I just know we stopped in the middle of the road, and it was like, oh, the Panther flip. I'm like, no way, stop lying. And then I look to the side and I see the Panther is on the side of the road. I see it that it has been rolled over and it's flipped on the side, upside down. So we instantly get out, run towards it.
We kind of just ran up there expecting everybody to be bruised, battered, and didn't even want to think about what could have happened.
I was buckled We were all buckled, wearing our proper PPE. I was upside down. First thing I said is, everybody okay? One of my soldiers in the back, the passenger collie, PFC collie, said, yes, I'm good, Sergeant. And then the other soldier, which was PFC Lopez, he just made a noise. My driver said he was okay, collie said he was okay. Lopez just kind of gave me a noise. So I knew he wasn't. I kind of crept up in the back. I was like, Lopez, you all right? Lopez, Lopez. And then he started screaming.
As he's screaming, I'm just like trying to like keep him talking to him, like, yo, you good? You know what I'm saying? Just keep him talking. Make sure, as long as I hear him talking, so I know he be good. And I'm just talking to him and just trying to find the hole at the same time. So as long as I keep hearing his voice and find the clearance so we get out.
I knew he was messed up bad. He was bleeding a little bit, and then he kept telling us he couldn't breathe, and that's when everybody was getting a lot of emotions. I was down. It hit me hard, and we're in a military vehicle, so that's a heavy vehicle. So I know somebody can really be hurt or dead, and I was just praying nothing bad happened.
In my head, I was like, are we losing a soldier? I don't want to call a parent, tell them I lost their child, because I didn't know exactly what was happening to him. He wasn't really responsive. He was just screaming. And then later on, we found out he had a collapsed lung.
The safety restraints and the ACH and wearing your IOTV, all of those things are very important in order to protect people.
Anytime we roll out, it's full kit, IOTV is on.
I absolutely credit the use of all the restraints as having saved everybody. The restraints are what kept the soldiers alive.
The back hatch on the top broke off, and we used that to exit the Vic.
Could have lost a limb, life, who knows. But I'm glad we were all buckled. It would have been bad. Everybody has to be safe. We can't just assume, oh, we're just going 2 miles down the road, so everything is going to be fine. We don't know what's going to happen down the road. So we got to be safe at all times.
Be safe first. Like, make sure you have your seatbelt on, you wearing your ACH, all the equipment and stuff like that, because you never know what can happen at any moment. Because we thought we were safe, nothing was going to happen, and then boom, this happened. So be safe and be aware of your surroundings.
It was definitely a wake-up call for me. I didn't realize the severity that these small everyday missions can have, as to like how much detail needs to go into planning even the simplest tasks. Every movement requires you to actually go through a PCI checklist to ensure that every individual that's going on a convoy understands their role and the roles of everyone around them.
Learn from it. You know, make sure this never happens again to somebody else, you know. So like everybody learns from it. So yeah, it was hard, but I kind of, talked to my soldiers. We're just taking more precautions. We talk about more checkpoints now. At this checkpoint, we're going to stop. At this checkpoint, we're going to make sure everything is good. At this checkpoint, we're going to do this. So we're more precautious, I should say, right now. We've already been giving them briefs. We're doing training, rollover training, fire drills, all that. So all the soldiers know everything before we roll out on a mission. So it's just taking the necessary little attention to details and stuff we missed, pretty much, into the next mission.
Like almost like borderline paranoia in the back of my head every time we roll out. Absolutely in a good way. Before it was one of those, holler to the back of the truck, make sure everybody says they have it on, and now it's physically and visually checking. Everybody has everything on, everybody's seatbelt is done properly, tightened down to where it should be, then we roll out.
A lot of the lessons that I learned out of this experience are from decisions I made leading up to the accident. I had 3 very experienced and talented platoon leaders that had been in the seat for over a year. Lieutenant Went just took the seat as a platoon leader, and I was less deliberate in checking her, going over with her route plans or her or her op order brief, I kind of lost sight of that check that was required of me.
I like to tell my platoon an ounce of discipline is worth more than a ton of regret. I tell them that very frequently. It definitely has impacted us, though. That was our best vehicle, and whenever we went out on mission, prior to me arriving in the platoon, that was the platoon operations center. Like when they were in the field, that's where everybody gathered.
My hope is that this doesn't happen to anyone else. What would be even better is if, like, the occupants of the vehicle, or really all the members of that platoon, if they PCS from this place and they go to another unit, and having either experienced it firsthand from being in the rollover, or experienced it secondhand from seeing their buddy in the hospital for a few days, or helping people climb out of the vehicle, my hope is that they'll go to their follow-on units and they'll emphasize the importance of tying things down, the importance of actually using restraints, because the reality is you don't know when it's going to happen, but it does happen. And I think what we can take from this is trying to influence the units that we're going to go to make those small decisions.